Okay, that's exactly what she's showing me. Because she's showing me the sign and symbol for she told me it was a car accident, but then she's showing me the sign and symbol for suicide, but telling me it wasn't suicide. This is a very complicated situation because she's she's really passionate as she speaks, I have to say. Has a huge energy, big loving energy, but she's like kind of panting as she's talking to me because I feel like she hasn't been able to connect to you yet. And it's really important that she connects to you. It means just as much to her as what it's going to mean to you having this conversation. So I'm really glad I'm able to connect you with her. She's also saying that you're more like a sister to her than anything. It's like we're more like sisters than what we were best friends. You've got that energy and relationship. And she keeps showing me the phone, and I feel like you guys were constantly on the phone, constantly attached to each other in some way, whether you were actually with each other or just chatting. She does keep speaking about domestic violence relationships, and she's pointing to both of you. So I feel like both of you were in domestic violence relationships. Maybe this is how you bonded, or maybe this is something that you both had in common, but she is bringing that up too. Now, she's telling me that she didn't commit suicide even though she was scared for her life, but she's saying that she would never kill herself. She did feel trapped in her relationship though. She does keep speaking about that. She keeps speaking about being trapped. I'm not actually sure if she was also trapped in the car, or if she'd like hit a tree or hit into something and something was trapped. I feel something was physically trapped as well, not just metaphorically, and emotionally. So see where that fits. But she is speaking about feeling very trapped in the relationship. I do believe her partner at the time or an ex at the time was making her feel uncomfortable, making her feel unsafe. And I do feel like there were death threats made to her in a relationship she was in. She keeps speaking about how you guys would spend a lot of time on the phone crying to each other and holding each other and just being there for each other. And she just needs to keep saying, she's like, you need to let her know how much I love and appreciate her and all the support, because if it wasn't for you, she wouldn't have got through all the shit that she went through. I feel like there was a threat, like, of tampering with her car, but I feel like when it was looked over and when it was investigated, the car was not tampered with. So I definitely feel like this was an accident, but she is making me feel like she was only on that drive because she was upset, or she was taking longer to get to where she needed to be because she was like avoiding something, or maybe she had to finish a phone call, or I feel like there was more to it. Yeah, and the time is 1:11 here as well in Adelaide. So this is just beautiful confirmation that she's definitely here. The messages are all connecting, and hopefully this is going to be healing for you as well. I'm seeing the letter M here. I did hear Marjorie. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the name though. It could be a Marie, M-A-R name. Mary, Marie. I know it is a common name, or it could just be an M name. I don't know where that connects, but she is showing that. It could be a loved one in spirit that she is with or someone living, but there is a connection to an M name. Keep showing me this M name. So hopefully that will fit and connect. She's also speaking about you being a coach. So I'm not sure if you're doing women's coaching for DV, or if you're now helping people or teaching in some way, but she's really putting a big emphasis on this and saying how proud she is of you for like speaking out and being a warrior and helping other women, empowering other women in this situation. And she's saying you're going to make such a difference in the world. She's also just played the song Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. I don't know if there's a connection to that actual song, or if this is her just saying that you guys like to have a dance and party and go out, or if she's like acknowledging a concert. She did just show me Taylor Swift. I don't know if you went to Taylor Swift or if you were just into music, but she did reference that song specifically. That is crazy. Oh my God. That's exactly what it is. Wow. Love it when spirit do that, and they just bring in such validating messages. It's like there's no way that anyone could know that. I love it when they do that. So yeah, she's definitely bringing through that energy and her personality as well, just to really make sure that you're like, you know that this is her, and that she's coming through with these messages, and she just wants to say how proud of you that she is and how much she loves you and how thankful she is for your friendship. And she's like, literally, you kept me alive for a lot of times, because I feel like she couldn't speak to a lot of people about this, but she could always speak to you. Now, I feel like I have your grandfather stepping forward. I did hear the name Fred. I don't know if that was a nickname or his name or an F name potentially connect somewhere or what that's about. But I did hear that as I was connecting to this male energy. Now, I feel like he was more of like a father figure to you. Or at least he's presenting himself this way. He's coming through very protective, very warm, very loving towards you. And he does make me feel like he is wanting to acknowledge the closeness there. I did feel that way because she was just like making it very clear that you were her support person, like you were the one that she could go to. And that would be why she just feels so trapped as well, right? Because she couldn't even tell her family what was going on. So, his name is Fred? Okay. Okay, I definitely have your grandfather stepping forward. Okay, beautiful. He is like really strong on being like, he's more like your dad than your granddad. Just had this closeness. Now he's showing me, oh my God, what are they called? The Nutcracker? The Nutcracker. I don't know what that's about. He's actually showing me like toys, wooden toys, but I feel like I'm being shown the Nutcracker. I don't know what that is. If that doesn't connect to you now, maybe it'll connect to you later. Sometimes when they bring through that symbol to me, it can be that you just used to play toys together, or maybe he made you something, maybe you did woodwork together, maybe you were crafty together. It could also reference that too and mean that as well. And he did just show me Thomas the Tank Engine, so I wonder if he had any connection to trucks, or if you have a brother, or if there's a child in his life that liked Thomas the Tank Engine and he's bringing that up as a memory. Okay, I feel like that would be why Fred is bringing through Thomas the Tank Engine, to just acknowledge your son, and acknowledge and bring the attention to him. He's such a sweet boy. Your grandfather keeps saying, he's like, if only I could have spent more time with him and helped him through his life. Because I feel like your grandfather's such a soft, loving energy. Like, he's really beautiful when he speaks, and how loving and nurturing he is. He's also has a really funny side to him as well. So he could kind of be all the things to you. Yeah, but with Katie, she was making me feel like she's with a baby that wasn't hers. So I'm not sure who that would be. If she had a sibling that had lost a baby potentially, I'm not sure. But she is bringing that through too. But she is with her twins. Yes, the twins are there. I got a yes when I asked that question. Now, your grandfather is showing me a wheelchair. I'm not sure if the mobility issues connects to your son, or if the mobility issues would connect to him leading to the end of his life, if he needed help walking. It doesn't necessarily mean there was a wheelchair. It just means someone was having issues moving around and getting around, and a lack of strength in the muscles as well. I don't know if it's called spina bifida. I'm not sure. Look, I could be completely wrong here, but I feel like someone might have a condition that affects the muscles and bones. And if it's not connected to your son, maybe it's connected to your grandfather, or it's something to just be mindful of in the future, someone having some issues with muscles and bones and stuff like that. Little bit confusing, because it's like she says you're her sister too. So yeah, but I'm not sure if you still have contact with her family, if they're open, but if they are, maybe you could let them know she came through today and she's just confirming that she's with that baby, and he was in the wheelchair. Okay. Yeah, just this reference, like really sore bones and sore muscles. So this would just be his way of showing me leading up to the end of his life and the things he went through. He's also just showed you feeding him. So this is him just acknowledging that you were helping him towards the end of his life and you were there for him, whether or not you actually fed him, but it's his way of acknowledging and saying thank you for being there for me and helping me towards the end of my life. Katie's telling me she's with her grandma and her grandpa's pars. So I feel like Katie had her grandparents in spirit too, and she's just wanting people to know that she's reunited with them. She's showing me an S name too. I'm not sure if there's like a Sandy or a Sally or I'm not sure. But there's an S name in spirit too with her. I do believe that's connected to a woman. Just letting you know that she isn't alone. And I feel like she had 2 girls. Maybe they were the twins because she's showing like lots of pink. So yes, I do believe there would be, I believe there would be 2 little girls with her in spirit as well. I feel like she got quite far along. Just for, like, the more I'm tuning into that, the more I'm seeing this as a situation where maybe potentially she had to give birth to them. But yeah, she's showing me a bit more in detail with that. Your grandfather also understands that you can't be there every single second, so no need to feel any of that guilt if you weren't able to be there as much as you wanted to be. He's acknowledging that you've gone through so much yourself, and at that time you were going through challenging times, and you also have, I believe, 4 children, so your hands were full. So he just appreciates the fact that you could be there when you could. So when I just tune into the butterflies, I'm seeing blue ones, but perhaps when you see blue butterflies, it could be a message from Katie, or it could just be any type of butterflies that you see will connect to her. But I am seeing a blue and even like a blue and black one butterfly coming through here, and that could be a physical butterfly, or it could even be a brooch or a picture or something else, just a butterfly in general. Also, just know that you can speak to spirit at any time. They're always going to be able to hear you. Ask them to send you signs and they'll generally send them to you. And as for Freddie, did you name your son after him, or did you name someone or something after him, even if it's a middle name? I'm not sure exactly how that fits, but I feel like you've probably used that name again in some way. I see so many butterflies now. Oh, yeah. So definitely would be her way of connecting to you. And, you know, butterflies, coins, music, feathers, they're quite the common ways that they'll come through. Sometimes you can ask them for a really specific thing. So you could say, you know, next time I see a bottle cap, you know, that's you. Or next time I see a $5 note, or next time this song comes on, or whatever it might be. You can even make it a little bit more specific to them. If you want, you can ask, and sometimes they'll actually communicate that with you. You know, I want to see a rabbit today, so I know that you're around. And then randomly you'll see a rabbit on the TV or something. There's heaps of things you can do to find other ways to connect to them, but just know they always hear you and they can connect back to you in some. So there's definitely acknowledgement of that. I had a broken knee when my grandfather passed. I wonder if that's the bone. Oh, definitely could be what he's referring to. Definitely, for sure. So yeah, I hope that today brought you some peace. Anything that does not make sense now will generally make sense later at some other time. I'm so glad I was able to bring through your loved ones today. Here's Frederick Lyle, and I am Elisa, and my daughter is... Oh, so there are names that have been passed down. That's beautiful. Yes, please keep me updated if anything pops up in the future that maybe didn't resonate today. I know we didn't really touch on any of the future psychic stuff, but I'm a firm believer that you always get what you need. And today I feel like you needed to hear from your loved ones. So I'm really glad I could bring that to you. Thank you so much for getting a reading from me. I really, really hope that this helped you. And just know that Katie loves you just as much as you love her.